is for us. Pavlo Grozian. Hello. Quite frankly, it's cool. It's great to be here. I can see lots of great designers. I was trying to get ready. Everyone was distracting me, and I saw all the designers that I wanted to see, and the ones I didn't want to see I also saw. It's a great event. Thanks to the team, to the organizers. This is the best ever in Ukraine. Next year we will have lots of. Misha got drunk yesterday and spilled the beans and discussed all the insights. Next year it's going to be mind-blowing. So please. Please be ready with your money. We'll have even fewer tickets available. I have very little time. On my flight, I realized that I had not 30 but 45 minutes. Now I made a presentation for 2 hours. It's a joke. In fact, I have very few pictures and a lot of sense. I make a lot of sense. My name is Pavlo Grozian. I worked in these companies. I'm working for one of them still. 5 years ago, Grammarly, I made my own project. For 4 years I was helping different startups with their launches. Concurrently, you can imagine that. And now I'm working for Zero company, and I was on my flight thinking. I was thinking all my career was very exciting. I worked with different experience and what I want. Ask myself, go to some really fat company, Uber, Google, Facebook, have been great. You will have a bicycle once in a fortnight, a surf, use cars for free. So somebody will draw pictures for you. So you do less, you make more money. That's what I want. That's what I want. I'm not sure what you want, but that's my treat. And I think that I was touched very much by that conversation with one person here. I'm not at this stage when I want fat and toxic drive. So I woke up someday in Zio. This is a fintech startup. This is a metal card that gets everything, all the best cream from debit cards and credit cards for that matter, cashback, security features and so forth. Mobile only, branchless, 150,000 subscriptions is growing. Sign-ups seed around 8.5 million. And we're getting ready for the next stage of our life, launching the products, the actual issuance. And I would be grateful for this setup, for this presentation. Can anybody give me a minute? I'll try to reconnect. Cool, it's alright, it's okay. And you can ask your questions if you have any in advance. My jet lag is 90 minutes, about 6. I'm not sure. We don't know about the US. That's how it works here. You press this pedal this pedal, nothing happens. So when you work for a startup, nothing starts. So we have 12 people. We have very savage competitors like Chess, Bank of America. Our competitors they are, and a dozen of people do. We have about 50 by 200 per product. That is, I would like to discuss design at startup. It wasn't my plan to ask whether there are any designers in this audience, but I don't want three designers, 5, 6. I also thought it was important, or maybe not so important. So I would like to discuss what they do at different stages, 4 stages in number, and the difference between our designers, their designers, the culture shock, and the skills that we lack here for us to be able to compete. And I will give you lots of fuck ups, discoveries in the insights. There you can see that here you don't get it. And what's the best way to be the best designer in this great prosperous country? Well, let's discuss it very briefly. I have loads of slides, but no pictures. Just the conversation. And each product has 4 stages: idea, somebody super creative steps in, there's a niche, there's some insight from the background that develops the idea, a grain of money poured, it grows with the right team, then scalability comes, and you have the super duper company. Uber Uber was here. Now they get this scalability, lots of products, and we also there with the products for products, internal features, and all that stuff. When I was with Grammarly, they were saying that they were a startup, but they were growing. In fact, 0 hours here. We had some kind of money that we used for headhunting and invitations. And I was at the stage when we completed the ideation and started creating products. The product. Why am I deconstructing the role and the responsibility at all the stages for startups? If it's boring, Like one of my bosses once had said, if you are bored, just get up and go out. And off you go. If you are bored, I don't care. I want you to understand where you can find yourself. And Uber has 250 designers, different people, and what's your role? Where you belong? Your heart, your mind. From my point of view, with my experience, with your experience, for example, you should understand what you like, what you love. It's going to be fast, I promise. So when you dive into the idea, there's nothing. We're going to do A for B for C. The first thing you do the research. That's easy. Your competition. And the best way to do that is, do you know what you have to do? You have to Google to use your competitors' products, and it's in the market and with the insight. First of all, you have to understand what exists in the market, what we are not going to do. Definitely not go in the baseline, and that's what we draw and never cross. That's the swamp. That's the dry wood, and the boss had a call for us. You do this, you do that. You have to test the accounts, and we'll see what is cool with them and what is shitty. Not to come back to that. So it's a good stage. I did that before going to Zia. I did the due diligence. I imagined the competitors, so I really had to roll up my sleeves. There's a lot of shit in it, deep shit. I was enthusiastic about this assignment. The first thing to do, I understood that they were American, the crazy horses, they can try it, and I was just there for the first time. I promised to check all the European ones. All my friends who were working for the competitors, give me the app, give me your card, your credentials, just to try different accounts I got. I was referring the activated card with UK and activated card. And the requirements of this this is your knowledgeability, expertise, the technology, the market, and the product. And the next stage is when you are done with your research and you do the baseline and you create the experience, kind of experience for the concepts, the mock-up, sketching. I don't know what's your level. And then it all rottens in the basket. This is just the beginning, trash bin. And this is the communication tool with investors who will give you the cash. And you have to be quick and be skilled, slow fidelity, not just a step, but a leap. The visual design, interaction design, and this is a badass technology, as they call it in the US. It's not recommended, but it is very important. It's culturally not right, but it's right. The business to be more quick in the communication, to cut off the unnecessary stuff. Then you dive into branding. It's funny, you have to understand your position in the market of such products, how you're going to find them, what's your communication with the customer, what you buy, what you sell. You have to get the feel of the product, the competition, and you talk to the office for you and the team to understand, to be on the same page. And then You take the concept, you burn that all, incinerate, and then you do general UX. It's not accounts, the bridges, the all the customer journey experience. What you see, how you get the product physically, is the card, how you open the box, what's not the box, how you activate. You have to see that to understand where the affordance is, and we discovered many interesting things. And then you pack it all. You invest the communication, IR, all the research, all the seed money. You get it usually in private money. If you have an insight, you have to put it in one trough. We had different 40 decks for different venture funds, different detail. Some of you look on your figures, some in 20 years. Some founders and designers want to see the pictures instead. So we have different decks, different fidelity level, and you have to show the enthusiasm, how you do it, how obsessed you are, how delirious you are about this idea. And they have to get the feeling, and they have to believe you, they have to buy you, unlike 200 people that they waste their time on every day. So you get a lot of money, and then you get another lot of money. So then you have already made some millions. You can buy bitcoins, go to the Canary Islands. But then what it starts, I was at the ideation, we are making a startup, hack design. Hack design is my own term. Do less with the best output. Imagine we have to be focused. Because we should not do anything extra. You should do the right thing, and you should be very focused on communication in your team. You should understand that CEO wants this, the team wants this, CFO wants this, and this is very exciting. This is the mindset of your startup. You have to dive into the strategy very deeply, unless you understand the product strategy setup. Diving is not just reading about it, it's getting involved, what you buy, the acquisition channels, the costs, how you can cut the costs, and the design part, because design is communication with the client, with the customer, right? Right? I think you are sleeping because I am. This is the high level, this is the helicopter view, and you understand that this is the Death Valley, but there's another Beauty Valley right after it. You do the specs. I have this pin, death before work without specs. That's the slogan. Because whatever you do without spec, as a concept, it's rotting in your trash bin, in your menu. It's very difficult. Have you done specs? Great. I cannot see this. There are two hands. One is showing the middle finger. No, it's not it. No, because I thought that was an insult. This is the balance between your body of communication and the actual resumed data. You have to be good at abstract thinking, know the technologies, and I think that my I was supposed to be rolled down. Or we have this manual screen, manual operated screen, and the product communication inside the team. You're talking to each other, and I can see that as a separate stage, because what you're putting together, you demonstrate it through IR to your investors, because they think about the strategy. It's not just about seeding or giving you some crumples, dollars. This is stimulating, depending on the expertise, your strategy. That's it. That's how it is. It looks this big, like Uber, Airbnb. So they have different trajectories and different stages. You have to be on the same page. On the same page, what's the Russian expression? You have to be in the same harness. The inside, the visual design, yes. That's burnt out because the next stage you iterated, but you have to achieve this fixed design. If you don't do it now, you will never do it. Let's say that. And you should do it once, not every week, because engineering is very costly, and they will invite you to the meeting. Are you not sure of yourself, or you don't know what you do, or you don't know our requirements? If you have wrong answers to any of the questions, you're in trouble. You buy the phones, everything is going to be expensive. You will disagree, because then you will have the refinement after. Fresh style, yes. And the most important one is, and that's why they buy you this visual design. That's what sells. The analogy I heard about very recently, you know, Van Gogh, I suppose. All the spots, dirty colors, how he mixes his colors, how he gets the money also. And that's what should be translated into your design. You see it in your own way. Yes, I understand. And if you have your visual style, this is the additional cost, that you should have your own style, your own requirements. So this cost, because the super helicopter view, but you have to be the best visually. Protocol with your left leg, and then you dive into branding again, and that should be better. Your brand communication should be handling of all the small things at the bottom, and we are not responsible for this. All the disclaimers, you cover the disclaimers or not. I'm talking about your customer and your value, the customer relations. Usually at this stage, we were sitting around with the boss, with another designer, the brand style guide. We changed the names, used to change once in a week, but it's all text, no pictures, no conversations. And that's the most difficult, the most demanding ever in my career, because you have to live with that for years, and you cannot do it with your left leg and redo it tomorrow. This is just once, and we end at 4 a.m. Ended up winning the midnight wall, included exercise at 4 a.m. and this design system out of this rubbish. And some people think that's all bullshit. That's startup for you. You have some seed money and you have to engage a lot, ship a lot. At the early stage you have to ship it. And here that's the components. This is more than a product, designed for startup. This is not granular. You have to do it across the board, and your boss comes to you and says, we're moving to another office, there's a lot of space, let's use some furniture there. And you have to pick up the furniture that is conformity with your brand, and nice and mild. You cannot use Pshonka style or the BDSM. That's people say, I love it, I would use this. And you go and buy the shit that you don't like, but it's in conformity. So for 2 weeks we were in our own environment, so we were making our business cards, we were redesigning our office. But business cards are like facts. The startup is over. No, it's bullshit. Then we grow. I was talking about my current companies, now different other companies where I worked. And the growth stage, people noticed you and you have the money dripping in, or like Uber. I remember they were just there was a pool in their limo. Something was happening to them. At some stage they went crazy about the money. What's the resource? That's what we had. That would have happened here if we had been lucky. And we have the branding, the text, the video. You transform it into visuals and interaction. Some kind of video message for a customer on YouTube. You drive all the production. That's the most boring part ever, and you transform your localize Uber. It's great to have Misha around. The new guideline for different marketing, their own style. Everyone was uploading with their flaps and the patterns. They're uploading for the local markets some kind of value that transforms the culture. Very exciting. That's the bottom line. We have to understand how marketing works. It is very important for your life, because otherwise you cannot shape up and grow. Marketing drives faster than design. If you don't know marketing, you are behind. If you start learning, then you're not in the driving seat. You have your product. What happened? You have the funnel. That's the most important thing. That's how you transform some potential prospects and the real customer with the money. You are on the radar of the media. It's a great card. the benefits, and you can use it, and you can even add some money to advertise. The Misha was telling you a lot about that. It's granular because they are drivers. But speaking of customers, we can talk for weeks about specific jurisdictions because there are many countries. You have multiple acquisition channels that turn those passers-by into cash cows, and you need the expertise. In Macpo and Grammarly, they were crazy, one of the strongest teams. And the most important thing is speed and iteration. And then you can finalize because the customer is there providing the cash, but it's not yet full operational. We have to fix it all and retain. In fact, everyone couldn't care less at this stage. Business says, backfix, let's get 2.5, we'll upsell them, squeeze out some cash, and now there's this aftertaste, and with your expertise you have to see the way to produce the best results and mend the fences so that there are no leakages, and you can save some money, and you can streamline, upgrade design for the system. I'm not talking about redesign. This is about backfix, and also for the funnel, for the marketing, with the engagement teams, with the metrics of user experience for the product, and the vital indicators important for the investors, and they give you more money for that. And it's not the case that they give you young designer this piece to the young designers, and you think that you have finished and you can go to the Canary Islands. Now you have to give new features for scanner, some crazy things. You redo the old features. We have customers, we have the money, a lot of money, such a lot that you can hire a lot of people, have a great office. So everything is fine, you can have fun. Not yet. Your task as a designer, it's some granular experience. You focus on one thing as a feature, as a product, you deliver it, and the same is true with products. It's boring. For some people that's fun. If you go to Uber, you would do that. Because why is it boring? Because the impact on the things you do and the actual momentum, you can see some train on the ice if you push it with your finger, little finger. That's your design. Our company of Uber size. You work for a great team, 30% of growth, but new features, products. Unfortunately, not all the designers are working on the breakthroughs. Like Misha, they use 3 months to make a button. We have this button, they show the framework, everyone is applauding. There are designers actually in foam, and they say, oh, we have increased conversion by 46%. There's gimmicks, such gimmicks, and you can play with that. And that concludes the part. The fun just starts. And the designers, the new fish, there are some attending the projector classes. There are some, they say, oh, it's better to be a driver for Uber. It's fun. It's great fun. All the key stages I have covered. I know it was vague. The designer's career development matched with the product development stages. The role for the startup. The first thing is help to sustain. You have to survive. You have little money, and you have a lot to do, things to do, to prove that you're cool. They believe you. They give you the cash. You have no time for bullshit. You cost a lot of money. The best designers in Ukraine here have enough money for the ticket, so your value, your cost, it's more in the same league. It's more, and you multiply by the number of people, and you will see the payroll by month. It's the cost, and the operations, all the costs incurred there. As a designer, you cannot afford making a new visual style for 6 months. And as a designer, you have to know PDF, how your business develops. All the business meetings should be attended, because when you understand that, you dramatically decrease the amount of work that you do, that you will, because you will be removing the coating. This is my asbestos removal. Remove the toxic part, the toxic coating. It's skipped. So you have to create great design and know how to sell it. Nobody knows how to do it. I don't. It's not because I'm a bad designer. I'm a bad seller. All the Korean designers, they have difficulties with American consumerism. It's a different, sophisticated culture. You have to make extra efforts, and you have to pay attention to critique. We all like critique. They are Tim Liberty. And you have to be very loud, so that all the solutions that you provide are implemented. You start over designs, 1 million concept, all the detail. That means that you're not focused, that you don't know what you're doing. You're just wasting the company's money. You lack ownership. You didn't attend the PSDF meetings. And ownership is one of the key difference. Product designers says, should I use this term? The post-Soviet ones, and they accept the responsibility over there and ship. You're your own product manager for your feature, for your niche. That is where you are nested. And asbestos removal is a great thing, because usually you have great people, engineers. Your boss, my boss can do prototypes in Flint, and Sketch is available everywhere with the banking team. They are all designers, and you are slightly better. You have extra 10 years of experience, and you are supposed to be able to remove the asbestos. How about making it green? I don't see it. Switch over. So why join startup? It's a great graph. That's how I learned it. 4 squadrons and some splashes. This is my favorite. I love that part. And the difficulties. This is money, cash, and the difficulty. We want to be there, right? In that part. Left hand upper part. On the beach with the money. I want to. Speaking of ideation, that's when it starts. Everything is in slow motion, and you have some money. If you join the company at this stage, that's how it looks. If you are doing the startup, it's crazy how difficult it is, and potentially a lot of money, because the early stage you have some structures, options, whatever they call it, and you can be a unicorn. 99.9, or maybe not the 9%, fail at the ideation stage. At this stage, 99.995 fail. So most of the effort is not converted into cash. So you face a great risk. Then you have a stronger company. And here, it's not that difficult. The average pay, like Uber, Uber is up there. So they pay more than any startup. I have some insights, and I can share it with you. And the work is, this is not about Californian companies, but this is about American companies. So now you can also have fun and rest. There are some friends of mine who have a fun month of onboarding on the company. They get bicycles, cars for free, serves for 4 months. What? Do you have to conclude? Forget it. I've just started. So let's skip this big part. This is the impact. This is why people, the skills, will do it, and your contribution for a startup, the potential is biggest. You can do the maximum, and the difficulty of this process is like piloting an aircraft. It's all extremely difficult, but the impact is there, much less. And the most exciting, can I do the sexy part? Well, Ukrainian designers and US designers, are you engaged? You're the same as them, same kind of designers. You just have to understand that you're not worse. You know everything. And there are more designers, we have fewer designers, and they have a lot of dry wood. It's a rich country, and anybody can be a designer. That's why there's a lot of dry wood. And we have the green wood, a lot of good designers. And also what's important is the Dropbox, Facebook, Uber, Instagram, across the road. It's like in EPAM. Some other galleon. You just cross the road and you are there. So they go to Google, and it's a true story. They hate Google. T-shaped designers, people who know their skills, they are known as product designers, interface, whatever. One hand in marketing, the other in strategy of visual communication, something else. They know how to sell the shit. It's in the genes because their parents knew how to sell, and they're very cool. So you can send your child there and he can come back in 2 weeks and be very successful here. And that's the most difficult, unbelievably difficult, how they sell the products, and they come to work as a career maker. What I am doing here, what is aligned with my goals, I do this shit. Otherwise I go to a different place that's closer to my destination. And there are mentors like Olympic gods. Alan, thank you for coming. Is one of them. User experience designer is 45 years old. Some of your parents are younger than that, and you can come to them, take the course, and you'll get the insight about the first Apple computer, the interface, the voice helpers. That's what they have. It's cheap to get the education, and you can have UCLA or something that is available. They never take no for an answer. I would say no. That was, you sit down, they discuss something, and I was no, it doesn't work. The expert, why? Who are you? We're brainstorming. Go to the bathroom. So no is a progress stopper. It's an impediment, a stumbling block. And another thing, learn from my boss. A startup, it's about training, about learning. No expertise. We're building a rocket while launching it. And the boss told me, let's discuss the card manufacturers. Let's see them and try to learn from them. They are extremely confident, and that's why they deliver in a very cool way. They're hyper proactive. The best design. There's a lot of rubbish, but they do that. That our design culture. If you're the first to see it, you're the first to pick up. So you do not wait for an assignment, you create an assignment. They're very decisive. They do the iterations, they hit our trainer, and you as a designer say, no, this is not our product. It can be better, it can be different. It's not important. Somebody has to take the decision to proceed. And let's discuss the responsibility. It's very important. We have no such thing. They have it. You own the features, the product, the task. You can ship it, and you're looking up. Yes, I read his email, which I received 20 years ago. And you think to yourself, what kind of email? It's a true story. And about difference in design, we have this problem, the imposter syndrome. We think that if we do it for hands, it's not cool enough. There are things we underestimate ourselves. Our self-esteem is low. That's why we cannot yet be the best. think that there are lots of great people that do crazy things but never show it to anyone. By American standards, they do mind-blowing things. A true story. I work with Morgan on the Dropbox. Have you seen this geek from Russia? I know this Gleb. He said, "Have you seen how much he does? How much he produces, generates? We have this imposter syndrome. We have bad English. We cannot showcase." And we have no opportunity to sell ourselves better, to be hired for a startup with British or American money. We're growing vertically. We do not buy horizontal developments in UX, UI for 4 years, and then you understand that you've been to Europe, to Asia. What else have I done? Nothing. Been to places. We cannot showcase ourselves. We don't know how to showcase the things you do. Cannot package it. And you say, that's what is done. The bullet points, the parameters, the results. I've done this in such and such way. We open AirPlay. We show it. See? You see? It works. It doesn't. That's not selling. I have to create and explain the value. There are very few people here who can do it, and we like focusing on some errors. You show that it spins, and they think, what is this thing? We are small in our thinking. We do the right things, but we do not know how to package. And the ownership is not there. They have the ownership, we don't. That's we are half-baked, always. 95%. Serious. Weekend. One weekend. You've been there, done that. This is the antipode. We should sparkle. They overdo it. They know how to make shit. I use this term. They sell shit, but it sparkles. And we do great things and we make it look like shit, and we cannot present them. People do not know how to showcase. No graphics, there's just texts. Like here, you see how people do that. Perhaps it was done on the flight. And what is mind-blowing, we have access to the best design education, the best time in Ukraine, prime time. A very interesting transformation. We have the projector. Let's support. They think that people can leave. No. So let me scroll down to the end of this list, and then there will be another one. We say no. This is our creed. Can we do 4 other iterations? You say no. You say no. The answer should be, oh, all right. What? So we stop people. That's the Ukrainian practice. 8 years of experience. You do things, cool things, and always say no. You don't let people finalize, beat it to death. There's a push, you say no to the push. It's done. It's not finalized. It's never finalized. You're lazy asses, like myself. You do not look into the tools. You don't write on Swift. I do. You don't follow the trends. To come to me. How can I become product designer? 600 pages on the Medium. You can look it up, or how to create it in Framer. Just go there, do your homework. You have the weekend. Become best designer today. So we are not loud. We are not visible. We are not showing off. That's why people do not believe that you are the best. You have no social skills. It's for a whole conference, and you do not know how to work with each other and your colleagues, and leads to the situation that you lose your company's money. All the HRs in Ukraine that understand the situation, they come. Have you seen the social skill? There's no page in Wikipedia, Ukrainian Wikipedia, and the social skills, and then the Russian page or the Ukrainian page, it's not there. And you're a great critics. Artemy Lebedev trained us the prism, with the shit prism. We can understand and see what doesn't work. That's it. The critique should be different. You should see the essence and offer a solution. We just see the essence but never offer any solution. But we hate making decisions. They say, I think it's my feeling, my gut feeling, that this button, maybe the display should be, maybe the color is wrong. You say, no, that's great, I've done it, full stop, a period. So that's the critique. I worked with different designers, different experience. That's how it works. I have skipped all the slides. I have 5 slides remaining. So let me do that. Better? I want you to change, if you can. One of the coolest questions at the interview: what's your superpower? We were talking about design, your superpower. I said, I do this. They say, all right. You have to present some superpower. Van Gogh was that crazy style, these strange things. You need a different superpower. Have to be the best. I know one very talented interactive motion designer. That's his superhuman power. He can do lots of things. I know one person who does great interfaces for health companies, but he's in Framer. He knows how to do Framer. You had him, Momeza. And you have to pick up your strong points and showcase them. You should not admit, of course, you do not know Swift. Don't blame yourself. You know, that's what I do. That's what I do best. It's like a T shape, but then you still expand. You have to grow horizontally also. You have to reach out, know how to criticize and accept the critique, and ask yourself every day what I can learn. If you're an expert in your fintech niche or the real estate or finance for Ubers, drivers, everyone would go for it and hire your expertise. Answer this question: what is your superpower? And think of the value that you add every day to your company. If you do, I hope so. This product. And the third question that I haven't heard any answers from the green designers: how is your career developing? What's the direction? Chris Hetfield. a Canadian astronaut. They call them astronauts, not cosmonauts. He said, astronauts guidelines to live in the country. This is mind blowing. Clips your brain, and his decision making method. What if I go to space? Would I do that? You should take your decisions. It's like being launched into space. That's the attitude. That's it. So, just one last point. Can you please take a picture? No handset. Just that's the inside. Using the opportunity. I'm saying hello to my grandma. First stage. They are presenting this video project, How Designers' Life is Done, engineers and business people in Silicon Valley. This is not going to be boring. We have a couple of pilots inside from the designers of BMW, and great insights from the people who made a lot of money in Silicon Valley. I want you to see that. I'll invite lots of people, and it would be cool if you're coming, one of you, Ukrainian designers, my stories. On Instagram. That's the most important thing. All your questions in my messenger. I hope that you have no answers. Lots of hugs.